This is what Becky did last night, and in this video I'm going to break down how I coloured the skin on this side profile portrait in my Derwent Coloursoft pencils. Let's take a look. So this page is the first time I'm using the Derwent Coloursoft and I'm really enjoying them. So I've just put together a nice simple blend for skin colouring out of this set, and I've got a mid-brown for the dark shade, ochre going lighter, peach and pale peach. So I'm going to start with those colours first, and in my style I like to go from dark to light. So I'm taking that mid-brown and I'm just going to very gently go in all of the areas that I know are going to be the darkest parts. So the inside of the ear, that tickles me watching me do that. And then I'm going to be following the little crevices and line work that's already on the ear. I'm going to go around the hairline. I'm then going to bring in a little bit of the shading around all of the contouring areas of her face as well. So I'm going to be doing this colour for a while because I like to block in all of the shading, all of the dark areas straight away to help me work out where I'm going to go next with it. So I'm going to speed up this next section because I'll be sticking with this colour for a while. The next colour now will be the ochre, so I'm just going to overlay on top of the darkest shade that I've already done, and again just bring this out. I'm going to keep thinking about the shape and the form of this, imagining it as a spherical or rounded object. So I'm going to be thinking about where the light's hitting and working towards that area gradually, one colour at a time. And this is now the peach colour, so I'm again overlapping with the previous colours, carrying on and building up the form of the shape and bringing this in. And don't worry if it looks a little rough at the moment. This is just the first layer and I can go back in and refine it. I can always add to or take away any of the depth or highlight as I'm building up the layers. My final colour is now the pale peach, so I'm just going to go over pretty much anything that's left, but with the first pass I always like to leave just a little bit of white or just be the absolute lightest touch on the parts that are going to be hitting the light the most, because if you don't leave it white enough in the beginning, when you go back in with the next layers, if you carry on building that up, you're not going to have the same brightness to the light that you could have had. So that's why I go a little gently with that. This part is just specific to this particular picture. I'm just taking my purples that I've used for the flowers just to colour in that little teardrop detail on her eye. And then once I've gotten that one out of the way, I'm going to make sure that's nice and burnished, so that with the skin colours it doesn't matter if I skate straight over the top, I don't need to try and colour around it. But here I now go in with the second pass, so all four of those skin colours again, dark to light, building up the layers, overlapping, going from slightly heavier pressure where I want that colour darker and lightening up as I move into the highlighted areas. At this stage I'm bringing in the eye colours, and I'm just picking out the greens that I've already used on the leaves in the background, going from dark at the top, blending into light at the bottom, and then I've got this golden green colour just to bring in a little bit of brown and interest, because you can be quite outrageous with your eye colours, because they're never just one colour. Bringing in a bit of black to deepen that up and colour in the pupil, and obviously my hand's in the way, so thanks past Becky for that camera line. And then just taking a green fine liner pen, I'm just doing little dashes and dots on that beautiful iris to give it a little bit more interest and realism. And then I'm just going to come in with one of the brown shades just to add a little bit of shading on the eyeball, on the white areas, and just underneath, just to give that another bit of dimension. At this point, I'm now bringing in a little bit of the soft pink as well, just to tone some of the white down with a bit of pink. And that was the soft pink Coloursoft. And now I'm using that same colour to bring a little bit of colour to her cheeks. So I'm just gently bringing that pink in as like a bit of blush on her face. And a little bit on the tip of her nose for a bit of colour too. And a little bit on her chin. At this stage, before I finish burnishing in and colouring in the skin completely, I'm going to bring in the makeup side of things so that I know where we stand with how dark I want to go with the skin tone. And because we have the purples in this colour palette, I'm just going to do a basic lip colour with the purple shades that I've already used, and bringing a little bit of that soft pink to add in the highlighted area. So dark around the lip line. The upper lip is usually darker than the bottom, so I'm going to make sure I focus that darker colour a little bit more there, plus the little lip wrinkles. Then I'll work through those shades dark to light and try and leave a nice highlighted area, as you can see. And staying true to our colour palette, I'm now bringing the same colours into her eyeshadow. So I'm taking that darker purple and I'm starting at the crease of the eyelid. I'm going to blend that out and try and get a nice highlight just underneath her brow. And not forgetting the bottom of the eye as well, to give sort of like a purpley smoky look. So now she's looking fabulous. I'm going to now go through with the final round of all of those skin tones that I've used already. And on the very, very dark areas, I'm going to bring in my black pencil on the inside of the ear and on the inside of the nose, where we're definitely going to have shading, and then just along the eyelash line as well. This is my polychromo, so that's the one that you're going to get a nice sharp tip with, so it's great for all your finer details. And then we can move back into those skin colors, working again from dark to light, deepening that pressure and really making this face come to life. Here I'm just coming in with the really pale purple just to do a little hint of purple on the cheek as well. So I'm going to go in with that one just on the edge there, and then I'll blend that out with the light pink that we used earlier for the blush, before finishing off with refining the skin. This here is my blending stick from Caran d'Ache, and I'm just using it to smooth out that skin complexion. So I'm trying to just give a little extra blending and burnishing just so that it looks as flawless as possible. And then for the finer details later, I'll come in with the blending pencil. And for the final touches, I'm just going in with my White Posca pen, just a few highlights on the lips. Give it a little dab out so it's not so strong. And then I like to do a little highlight on the eyes. And then I'll do a little bit on her nose and just on the outline of her chin. I also like to just take out the line at the top of the eyebrow, because when I do the hair later, I find that if I get rid of that top line, the hair looks a little bit more hair-like rather than having a solid edge finish at the top, but that's just my preference. And that's it for this side profile. So thanks for staying with me and watching along. I've got other tutorials up already from this page, and the rest of them are going to be following in the next days or week or so. So if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I hope to see you again in my next videos.